Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, number. Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I'm fine, Shubham. So, we Rishabh, Barangi. Good afternoon. Let us wait for 2 or 3 minutes more to other students to join. Then we will start the class. Uh, Good afternoon, everyone, again. And good afternoon, Sarabjit. So, without further ado, we have waited sufficiently. Let's start the class. Today's class. We will look at few events that happened that we feel are important. First, the floor test in Bihar Assembly. For that to understand, we need to understand few concepts first. I started with the basic understanding. We all know that MPs and MLAs, they basically, you people or us elects these people. In that sense, we can say who represents the will of the people. who represent the will of the people. Yes, MPs and MLAs. Or we can say your parliament in case of union, or your state legislative assemblies. Yes, Harsh, exactly. The parliament and the state legislative assembly, they represent the will of the people. And that is why we have the logic of government, any government. In parliamentary system, it's the parliament which approves the survival of the government. For that, it used two tools. The two procedural tool, I must say. One is a confidence motion, other is a no confidence. Motion, you can understand, it's a procedural tool to move something. As the name implies, motion means a procedural tool to move something. So confidence motion means it's a proposal that this is the confidence of the house. The particular party is seeking the confidence out of the house. Please approve it. Same goes with no confidence, that this party seeks that the current government does not enjoy the confidence of the house. And what is the foundation? Here is the foundation. Article 75. Article 75 provides that the Prime Minister shall be appointed by the President, and other ministers shall be appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. Second thing, the Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to what? House of the people, or the lower house. In India's case, it is Lok Sabha or the state legislative assemblies. So this is the logic, that our MPs and MLAs, they represent us. They represent us. So the government, in order to function, a democratic government, in order to function, must enjoy the will of the people. As we cannot directly elect a government, we cannot directly vote a government in power or out of the power. So we elect our MPs and MLAs. They in turn vote either in confidence of a political party in power, or in no confidence of a political party in power. This much is clear to everyone? Clear. Okay. In that, we also have this. Like a simple logic is, I have always said MP and MLAs. These are the people we elect. Out of these MP, MLA, few people become the part of Council of Ministers. So what is a minister? A minister is nothing. He is just an MP or MLA serving in the government. An MP or MLA serving in the government is a minister. Basic definition. Out of these Council of Ministers, few ministers form the part of cabinet. So as you can see, in parliamentary form of governance, cabinet forms the nucleus of the administration. Okay, and remember this, that collective responsibility lies at the hand of Council of Ministers, not the cabinet alone. They all must be collectively responsible to the parliament, because parliament or the state legislative assembly represents the will of the people, and that is why a democratic form of government is always seeking confidence motion, and the opposition party always seeks no confidence motion. This much is clear. And these two motions are basically passed by a majority of simple. Does anyone know what is simple majority? Greater than 50% of present and voting. Yes, Nitin, you're right. More than 50% means 50% of the MPs and MLA present and voting plus 1%. 1% simple majority, and confidence motion and no confidence motion are passed. Clear? So this is the logic. This is what we mean by flow test. That is what I wanted to ask. So what happened recently in Bihar? Again, this event is not as such very important for us, not very important for us. What is important for us is how this flow test works and why they work. So there was a government led by Nitish Kumar. So he was basically in collusion with, or I should say in coalition with BJP. Then he switched from BJP to the RJD, the Lalu Prasad Yadav's party, and his son Tejasvi has become the Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar. This is the process in which Nitish Kumar went to the governor, gave resignation to the governor, then staked a claim for forming another government with different party coalition, and then the governor asked them, please prove your majority. In this majority, please look at this voice vote. There are two ways to prove the majority. Logic is clear to everyone. Why? The government has to prove its majority to the parliament or the state legislature because it represents the will of the people. So if the government can claim that it represents the majority of the will of the people, like everyone cannot, government does not represent everyone's will, but it must represent the majority of the people's will. And that's why majority of the MPs and MLAs must vote in favor of the government. That's the logic, and that is what flow test we mean. But in this, we have two mechanisms. One is voice, other is division. So how it works? If you have seen the proceedings of the parliament, what happens whenever there is a proposal at the hand of the parliament, the speaker put the proposal to the house. The house discusses and debates, and then the speaker, after discussion debate, asks the house. All those in favor say aye, A-Y-E-I. If a majority of the people say aye, resolution is passed. If majority of the people say nay, N-Y-E, nay, so resolution is defeated. So that is called voice voting. So first preference is often given to voice voting. But if there is even a single MP or MLA who says, sir, I do not believe in this voice vote, I think there is a problem. Or the speaker feels that by voice I am unable to clearly say who has the majority, then they go for division. In this, nothing happens. Every MP and MLA is asked to vote as yes and no. Previously, there used to be written vote. Now there is a electronic format we have. So they press the button in favor or against. Or there is another mechanism, abstention. Means the person abstain from either voting yes or voting no. Take a clear voice vote and division. So in this case, basically, Mr. Kumar first demonstrated his majority by voice vote before counting them. Clear? So this is the basic understanding. So we have seen first the will of the people, then we understood type of voting, then we understood two motions, confidence and no confidence. And remember one crucial thing about confidence and no confidence, that these motions can only be introduced only in Lok Sabha or state legislative assembly, because they represent the will of the people. At the upper house, that is Council of State or Rajya Sabha in union or state legislative councils in state, they do not represent the will of the people directly. So they are not allowed to use confidence and no confidence. So these are the few things that we have to keep remember. Next is composite flow test. So we all have understood what is flow test. Everyone is clear now? No dispute in anyone's mind? It is writing something. Anyway, so composite flow test. There is a problem. For example, there is a president or governor. There are various parties. There are party 1, party 2. Okay, for example, voice vote and diffusion. Okay, Uditi. So what is the logic? What happens? Say for example, there is a proposal at the disposal of the house. The proposal is confidence motion. Confidence motion is nothing. It's a paper. On this, it will be written by the government that I want the MPs or the MLAs. Nitin, that is something, it will take time and it's part of quality, the removal process basically. Okay, so quality mein chale jayenge, it will take consume time. We will stick ourselves to the dimensions we are going to study near the news only. Otherwise, फिर पूरा quality में करना पड़ जाएगा. Is it clear? ठीक है, बाकी कोई issue नहीं. Your quality teacher will teach you all these things in detail. Consider this is a kind of revision. Okay, you will study that. I am also teaching it. So it's a kind of revision. So we'll stick to the news and nearby events. Otherwise, entire subject has to be discussed. Anyway, so for example, this composite flow test. Composite flow test, where we have two parties, party 1, party 2. Party 1, say for example, sorry, Uditi has asked with respect to voice and division difference. Okay, what happens is a proposal goes to the house. So the speaker allows the proposal. Everyone discusses and debates. Whatever they want to say, they are given time, they say it. And then if you have seen any proceedings in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha channel, So what happens after discussion and debate? The speaker put that resolution to vote, because ultimately vote will decide. So it is put to vote. First is by voice. By voice means the speaker will say that I have this resolution or I have this motion. Do you agree? Do you agree with the content of this paper? Basically, the logic is that all the members say I. I means yes, I agree. So if all the members says or majority of the members says that we agree with the proposal, then the speaker will say hereby this proposal is accepted and passed. And if the majority of the members says nay, means I do not agree, in that scenario that proposal is rejected and dropped. If, for example, there is a proposal of confidence motion and it is passed by voice, this is called voice voting. And if any member says, sir, I do not believe in this voice voting, I think there is some fishy business going on, or the speaker feels that people are saying aye and nay and I'm unable to clearly say who has the majority, either ayes or nays, then he will ask all the members to vote. In that, they write, earlier they used to write on a paper that yes or no. They have to tick basically. Now we have electronic mechanism, so they vote. In every seat, there is a voting machine where they can vote yes or no. So if they vote, majority of the people vote yes, so proposal is accepted. If they vote no, then it is not accepted. It is called division. Now is it clear, Uditi? Okay, so after discussing that, I wanted to discuss composite flow test. Now, what is the composite flow test? What happens? Say, for example, the president and governor, they are only to efficient for efficient running of the government. This party one, say for example, Narendra Modi, and party to Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi both goes to the president and says, "Sir, I form the government. Allow me to form the government." So both will present documents that this much of MP supports me. Both will say I am supported by the majority of the MPs. Both will say this. So in that scenario, if the president thinks, yeah, it is not very clear who has a clear majority here. So rather than doing this, president will order composite flow test. In this, both Narendra Modi and Rahul Gandhi has to go to the legislature. And the Parliament of India, in this case, the lower house, both will test their confidence in whosoever, in Narendra Modi or Rahul Gandhi, whosoever will win the confidence motion will form the government. Is it clear what is composite flow test? As it is written here, composite flow test is necessitated when more than one person stakes a claim to form the government and the majority is not clear. And if the session is not there, a special session can be called. The majority is counted based on those present and voting. This can be done through voice vote also. Everyone clear on flow test and composite flow test? Cool. Now next issue. Take a role of governor. Again, I cannot discuss the entire constitutional authority of governor. So we will discuss only a part of governor's role in case of confidence and no confidence motion. Only that part we will discuss. Other parts we cannot discuss. There is limitation of time. So in Nabam Libya case versus state of Andhra Pradesh, sorry, Arunachal Pradesh. In Nabam Libya versus state of Arunachal Pradesh, Supreme Court clearly said this, that governor is not the conscience keeper of legislative assembly. So he cannot interfere in the activities of the assembly, like fixing the date of the assembly session or determining the majority in assembly. Meaning, he simply said, governor or the president in a constitutional form of government, in a parliamentary form of government, they are nothing more than a facilitator of the event. So governor's role is only one. He will ask the concerned chief minister or the prime minister in case of president. They will ask the concerned prime minister or chief minister, sir, go to the house and prove there on the floor of the house that you have majority. Governor will not assume who has majority, as happened here. No? This is what is the logic of composite flow test. Because governor, remember this, governor has no role whatsoever in case of legislative assembly. Everyone is clear on this? Okay. So this is the part we had to discuss about governor. Governor cannot decide on anything with respect to assembly. Within that is what I always say. This is a concept in polity you will study known as separation of powers. That is a separation of powers. In legislative assembly, who is the top boss? In parliament or assembly, who is the top boss there? The most powerful person? Speaker. Yes, exactly. Even the prime minister and chief minister. Nitin, prime minister is not the powerful person. Speaker is the powerful person. Remember this, in every place there is a different power. When it comes to government of India, constitutionally speaking, the most powerful person is president. It is in constitution, it is written that all the executive power of the union are with the president. But president cannot exercise those powers without prime minister. So prime minister is actual power center. But constitutionally, president is the power center. ये पॉइंट सबको क्लियर है? There is any confusion in this point? Prime Minister and President वाला? Anyone has any confusion? You can ask as many times as possible. Don't hesitate. किसी को कुछ नहीं पता है, so don't worry. Okay? Aditi, sir, who is the speaker? Speaker, basically, you can understand, he is the kind of controller of the house. A person, if you have seen any session on Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, the person who sits on the high chair. Everyone sits on the platforms, the seats that are on the stairs, and that person sits on the podium kind of thing, the high chair. Speaker. He is a person who has been selected by the house to control the session. For example, in our case, if I consider all of you people as the MPs of this house, then I am the speaker. I am controlling this house. I am dictating this house. I am running the house. Headmaster कह सकते हैं प्रकार का. Is it clear, Uditi? Okay. So देखिए, speaker is the most powerful person in the house. Yes, quorum and other kind of thing. No authority. No prime minister, president, Supreme Court, anyone, nobody is above speaker in the house. He is the top boss, top most powerful person. You can understand the significance. The Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was sent to prison by the Speaker of the Parliament during the time. That is the power. The Prime Minister, basically after the elections, she was sent to the prison. She did not serve the prison, that's a different case, but still she was sent to the prison. Everyone is clear? The speaker is the most powerful person in the house. And every prime minister and chief minister are nothing more than MPs or MLA. They are simple MP and MLA in the house. Out of the house, that is out of the boundary of the parliament or the state legislature, they are the prime minister and the chief minister. Inside the house, they are nothing more than the MP or MLA. Similarly, for example, in case of judiciary, when in front of a judge is the most powerful person in a court. Nobody is powerful than a judge, including the prime minister or the president of India. If they are present in a court for any case, then the judge is the top boss. His dictates are the final word. Is it clear? So governor in case of state legislative assembly, that is the significance of this Nabam Ribia case. That in case of state legislative assembly, only the speaker or the member of the house will decide how the house will run. Governor cannot decide about anything. Now is it clear, everyone, what is the role of governor in case of this kind of scenario? Any dispute, anything you want to ask? Nahi hai? Chalo. So this was the news. We had discussed few concepts. Let me summarize. Confidence and no confidence motion, floor test, composite floor test, role of governor, and then voice vote and division vote. I hope all these concepts are clear. If you do not have any concept clear, please ask. Next is freebies. We have discussed the dimensions of freebies multiple times. Again, I am saying freebie is nothing more than an elitist term. There are two arguments. Yes, Radha, bilkul sahi. J.M. Keynes, John Maynard Keynes. We can link that to hand of the state logic. Anyway, other people do not confuse with J.M. Keynes. But look at this. It's an elitist argument. When government, say for example, spends 1,000 crore rupees for giving free electricity or ration to poor, you call it freebie. We call it freebie. Government promising a laptop to student, freebie. A mobile phone to student, freebie. But when you let off thousands of crores of corporate loan, in economics, you will study a term NPA, non-performing assets. Basically, these are the loans given by the banks who are not coming back. Simple understanding. So when you let off, you write off basically. You put out from the book crores of loan of NPAs of corporate sector. Then it is not a freebie. It is a write-off. Shubham, you are right on that part. That is what I am trying to say. There are two sides. Okay, one is a genuine concern. Because some promises are indeed stupid. For example, offering free sari. It does not make any sense. Offering free sari, how it makes sense? Offering food, electricity, water, they make sense. So those are good things. But offering free saris and all, I understand. Few things are indeed waste of money. But still, the argument that we have to dictate here is, because two things we need to understand in this very conceptual understanding, how a democracy functions. Remember this, a democracy is nothing but a contract. Between who? Between the leaders and the people. That is why if you have seen the preamble, what is the starting line of the preamble? Does anyone know that? Yes, we the people. सबको पता है, we the people. The line that we have used in the we the people, it signifies that we, Constitution of India. Remember, it is nothing more than a contract. It is a contract signed by all of us, all 140 crore people of us. We have signed a contract by the name of Constitution. In that contract, yes, so in that contract, we have agreed with each other that these are the terms by which we want us to govern. These are the terms by which we will manage the affairs of a territory known India. That's the significance of we the people. So democracy is a contract between leaders and people. Recently, I would suggest you to watch that debate. It was on India Today by Rahul Kanwal. In that, there was a finance minister of Tamil Nadu. When he was asked this question by that person, that sir, the BJP, the party ruling, and the Modi ji has coined a term, reverie culture. And these reveries, and Tamil Nadu is very famous for these reveries. So what do you think? He gave a very good reply. He said that I am my elected leader. The promise that I make to the people is a contract between the people and me. If I deliver on that, the people will vote me in power again. If I don't deliver on that, they will boot me out from power. Then who is the Supreme Court of India to decide? Again, these are not my words. I love my liberty and I'm not doing any contempt of court here. The thing I'm saying that what he said. Clear everyone? But what he was trying to emphasize? He was trying to emphasize it's a contract between the leader and the people. I promised you something, you vote me in. Then you have no authority to decide. First of all, Supreme Court in this sense has no locus standi. Having said that, the next argument, that is a counter argument, is waste of money. Indeed, I am saying there are few offers, like offering free sarees does not make sense. But offering free electricity, water, and education, they do make sense. They are not freebies. It's the duty of the government. Why? Because we live in a welfare state. Remember these key terms. Welfare state. So one very simple logic here, because if BJP will do that, then people will fulfill this and that. Rather, you will be booted out of the power, na? How democracy functions? आप देखिए election कैसे होता है? How election functions? Every election, a lot of people, a lot of candidates comes to your house. They put something called as manifesto. In that manifesto, they list the proposals that I promise to do this, do that, do that, do that. If they will not fulfill, after 5 years, they will be judged. You as a citizen will judge the leader on the promises on the manifesto. If they will not fulfill, you will not vote them. So you will decide. That's how democracy functions. In democracy, the people are the ultimate authority. They are the ultimate power. देखिए इसमें लॉजिक क्या है? सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया dictating a I'm not saying the Supreme Court has no locus standi. Supreme Court creating a committee to examine freebies is like putting a restriction on the will of the people. इससे आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं? That the people of India are that much stupid that they cannot understand what is good in their favor. If in democracy, it's an elitist sense. आप लोग समझ रहे हैं ना what I'm trying to say? I am trying to say what Finance Minister of Tamil Nadu said. It's an elitist term. आप अमीर हैं, you are powerful, and you think that the common people of India are so stupid कि आप उन्हें 1000 रुपए दोगे, you will give them 1000 rupees, you will give them one liquor bottle of a liquor, alcohol, and then they will vote for you. But you think that these people are so stupid that they will vote anyone in power for sari? नहीं भाई, ऐसा नहीं होता. Everyone getting the sense that the Finance Minister of Tamil Nadu was trying to make? Any dispute anyone has in mind? Okay, this is one dimension. Again, there are certain issues that we have to acknowledge. That there are certain party who offer anything. So that is also wrong. There should be limitation on what you can. Yes. For example, Shubham, you pointed out, right? He said that Tamil Nadu is a state. You are blaming Tamil Nadu for freebies. Look at Tamil Nadu's record. It is better than North India. Tamil Nadu is a developed state. It has the highest per capita income. It has a vis-a-vis. Uditi, it is not compulsory. Freebies again is the wrong term. We should call them welfare measures. First point. Second, bankruptcy does not work like this. You get this point now. You have given 10,000 crore rupees to corporate sector in the name of what? In the name of ease of doing business. In the name of, let me give a real life example. 2020. In 2020, Union government reduced the corporate tax. According to RBI report, that corporate tax led to the loss of 1 lakh crore. Imagine this. 1 lakh crore rupees was lost by the central government because government lowered the corporate tax. It is predicted by RBI. So that is not a freebie. That is the argument that Finance Minister was trying to make, and other scholars that I have studied trying to make. सबको इतना क्लियर है? freebies है elitist term. ये बड़े लोगों की terms है to demean the common people of the India. First thing, and second thing, indeed, Uditi, you have good argument, and other people, we are acknowledging those arguments. That there are certain things, there should be limitations. Okay, but again, the question is not about limitation. The question is about who will decide. Question, nobody is arguing about limitation on freebies. So the question is who will decide. Is it the people of India who is the ultimate people, sovereign in India's case? It's a democracy, or it's the Supreme Court of India, or it is the central government of India. Or the dispute is over, who will decide the limitation? Is it clear? That is very wrong conception. Everyone pays tax. Very few people नहीं. Everyone pays tax. देखिए, I pay income tax. That's a direct tax. That is around 4 to 5% people. Around 16% of India's population pay direct tax. But everyone pay tax. Remember this. Do not allow this misconception to run in you. Indirect tax, for example, GST or any tax. Even if a laborer who, for example, rickshaw puller, who pulls rickshaw for the entire day, earns 100 rupees. That person, even if we buy a toffee for his kid, that person pays a tax, indirect tax on that toffee to the government. So everyone pays tax. Remember this. Or imagine this, even a common person who is a rickshaw puller, he's paying equal tax. A toffee bought by Ambani will be taxed at the same price a toffee bought by a rickshaw puller. Income tax में you can say few people pay that, but उसपे तो income होनी चाहिए ना, तो उसमें आप कुछ नहीं कह सकते. If you are earning well, what is the problem in paying? इसे समझिए, it's considered like a family. In a family, if the elder son earns more or the younger son earns more, or your daughter or your sister earns more, So that sister, that brother helps you, na. He said, "Yeah, you are my younger kid. Take this phone." That person buys your clothes, your food, and other kind of things. Clear? There are numerous dimensions we can debate. Ah, good point, Shubham. Very good point. Anyway, everyone is clear. Again, how to conclude this issue? After that, how to conclude this issue? First, freebies is an elitist term. It's a very elitist term, rich people's term to demean the common citizens. They think that a common citizen does not have the sense that they are bought by one bottle of liquor. They think like that. That is wrong thinking. Second thing, indeed, there should be limitation on freebies. But the question remains, who will decide? We have to settle on that question. That it is yet to be settled. I believe, my personal belief is it is the people of India. I don't believe the central government should decide, the state government should decide, or the Supreme Court should decide. I believe it is the people of India should decide. And if everyone, you and I, देखिए, we are highly literate people. I consider I am as equal to a rickshaw puller. मैं अपने आप को सुपर नहीं मानता. I believe he is as equal to me in a democracy. And if he is as equal to me, then that person is equal to the Supreme Court Chief Justice. Supreme Court Chief Justice is equal to a rickshaw puller. In that scenario, they do not have the right to dictate what they should. Is it clear? Ashok Yadav, too much democracy. Somebody said that. I will not take his name. Achha, anyway, the free debate we are having again. They are the person. There was too much issue. So everything I have listed, you can go. All the arguments are presented. I have put the negative argument like expenditure issue, revenue issue, negative impact, low tax collection. All the issues I have mentioned are also mentioned. Also, positive aspects are mentioned. Having discussed that, debated that, why we are discussing this news, I think fourth or fifth times in current event. The reason being a judgment. Supreme Court in 2013 gave a judgment, and recently it was in news this week. Supreme Court is referring this judgment to a upper bench. For that, we need to understand what was the judgment. Manifesto. What is about manifesto, Rana? हाँ, that is always happened. देखिए, मैं again कह रहा हूँ, this freebies में argument, the problem that I have with this, that intellectual people sitting in AC rooms, sipping coffees and wine in the party, they are debating about freebies, but the common people of India should do. It is not right. If you think that everyone is equal and a rickshaw puller is as equal to the Chief Justice of India, something we claim very proudly that we are a democracy with equal rights, then do not judge them. Give them due wisdom. Consider that those people also have a mind and they can judge their good and bad by themselves. You are not any father of somebody. We are all equal. Having said that, chalo, koi baat nahi. Anyway, so what was the news? There was a case, S. Subramaniam Balaji versus Tamil Nadu case. In this case, Supreme Court said few things. First thing Supreme Court said that only individuals, candidate, not the party, can commit corrupt practices under representation of people. Inform करिए, बिल्कुल inform. देखिए, that is the role media should play. But the problem that Shubham, you are pointing out, the problem that media with this, the media shows freebies of one party, not the other party. If they are really much concerned, then make citizen aware of everything. Also tell the citizen that the government is giving up 1 lakh crore rupees in tax rebates. ये भी बताइए जनता को. सिर्फ ये मत बताइए कि do not tell the people that the toffee that you are getting is subsidized by the government. Also tell the people that the corporate sector has been let off 1 lakh crore rupees of taxation, so that the people can judge by themselves. But biased understanding will be क्या? हाँ, Radha, you can say that. I cannot comment with it. नहीं दिखता ना इसलिए. Anyway, तो सुब्रमण्यम बालाजी केस में what happened, the Supreme Court said that only individual candidate, not the party, can commit corrupt practice in the Representation of People Act. This is something in governance you must be taught. Representation of People Act basically governs elections in India. In this, it deals about corrupt practices like bribery. Meaning, if I give you 10 rupees, if I give you 1,000 rupees to vote in my favor, it is considered as a bribe to the electorates. So in that case, it can be considered as a corrupt practices, and your candidature can be cancelled by the courts. Okay, that is the logic of corrupt practices. So Subramaniam Balaji case, Supreme Court said that only individuals can commit corrupt practices, not party. Meaning, if a party on a manifesto says that I will, जैसे for example अरविंद केजरीवाल, देखिए दिल्ली में अरविंद केजरीवाल provides free electricity up to 200 units and free water up to 20 kiloliters. Apart from that, free education, there is too much work on education, no denial over that. Apart from that, there is a scheme of Delhi के फरिश्ते, in which if anyone is injured on the road, then the entire expenditure of the treatment, including in private hospitals, is taken by the Delhi government. These are very good scheme, I would say. Very, very good. They have literally empowered the people. Especially imagine a common citizen of Delhi. That's why if you see the cost of living in Delhi, even when Delhi is a metropolis, is less than in other states. In other states, cost of living is higher because government provides so many facilities in Delhi. That's a different case. So देखिए इसमें logic क्या है? Logic is that individual giving any kind of commitment. If I give 1,000 rupees to you, it's a corrupt practice. But a party promising on a manifesto that I will give 1,000 rupees to every woman after election, winning the election, it's not a corrupt practice. As per Supreme Court's 2013 judgment. So why it was in news? Supreme Court has recently put it to upper bench. This judgment is to be reviewed again. तो उसके बाद पे देखते हैं क्या होता है. We are yet waiting the judgment. When it will come, we will include in the current event again. Clear everyone why it was in news and what is the debate surrounding everything? Rest that's why it is important. हम कई बार इसे पढ़ चुके हैं. अब ये this is the, I would say, a very beautiful scheme, that is universal basic income. To understand, first we need to understand the context. Remember, this news is linked to your society, your governance, your quality, your ethics, essay, interview. Everywhere you can use this news. How? Take for example, what is the biggest problem that India faces? Always remember this: economic autonomy. Economic autonomy always leads to independence. Economic autonomy always leads to independence. How it works? Simple logic. The freebie we just discussed, you can apply that here also. But it's the logic of freebies. As it being argued, that a party promise you soaps. You will give you TV, sari, fridge, whatever. Why? Because they know you are poor. Why? Because they know you are poor. Why you are poor? Because you do not have income. One dimension. Second dimension is government schemes. Government brings a lot of schemes like public distribution system in which ration is given to the people. Okay, or say for example your money transfer for widows and all. All these are targeting selective peoples. It is not for everyone. It is selective. Manrega to more or less universal. Manrega is not income dependent. Anyone can work in Manrega. ठीक है, वो सेलेक्टिव नहीं है. ठीक है, आप लिखिए जब तक. तो देखिए मनरेगा सेलेक्ट no rather इसमें unskilled work is involved. Manrega scheme says that anyone, remember this term, Manrega says anyone who is willing to do an unskilled work, meaning digging up a road, laying up a road, anyone, even Ambani, if tomorrow wants to do earn some extra cash by filling up a road, he can apply. So Manrega is not person specific. It is available to every family. Okay, so let's come back. The first dimension is respect to freebies. Freebies is given to the poor because they have no income. Second, PDS money or other kind of scheme government has, they're selective. They target the poor people. But the problem is selection has errors. Something we call as inclusion. I think I have discussed this earlier. Error, inclusion and exclusion error. Let me tell you what that is. Inclusion means a person who deserves the scheme is not included in the scheme. For example, a free food to very poor person, and that person is not in the scheme. There could be any reason. That person does not have the document, he's not aware of it, or any could be the reason. So that is that is exclusion error. Sorry. Inclusion error is when a person who does not deserve the scheme gets the scheme. For example, PDS. It is reported in PDS that a lot of people who are indeed not rich, they are from lower middle class. They exploit it. EWS, you can say. It is should be for the poorest of the poor, but most of the PDS is exploited, and money is exploited by who has sufficient money. I'm not saying a lot of money, but sufficient money to survive. So this is inclusion error. Everyone clear? What is inclusion or exclusion? Clear na? Now, I want to ask, which of this error you think is sensitive politically? Which is of this error is a danger to polity? Is a danger to society? Inclusion or exclusion? Exactly. Suppose exclusion. Because government, say for example, brings PDS. Over there are 100 people who want PDS. Even if one person is left out of PDS, and that person dies because of lack of food, all of a sudden the entire news in international media and everywhere will be like, look at this person, he died because of hunger, because government of India cannot provide. Exclusion error is highly sensitive. Inclusion error is not as sensitive. If few people are not deserving candidate, they are getting the scheme, कोई बात नहीं. Government can always bear freeloaders. थोड़ा बहुत चलता है. लेकिन exclusion error we have to be sensitive. अब now two dimension we have discussed: freebies from election purpose perspective, from government scheme targeting in governance. Now third dimension, which I believe is even more important, that is society dimension. Society में all the evils you see, like theft, murder, all the evil kind of things, they happen when you do not have income. अगर सीधी सी बात है, आपका पैसा नहीं है, you are a poor person. For example, in Corona there was a report. A person who was PhD scholar, was arrested by Delhi police for theft. And when he was asked why he was doing that, he simply said, "I have no job. मेरे को job नहीं है, कोरोना में I lost my job." He's a PhD scholar, not some common citizen. He's a PhD scholar. But because he could not earn for 2 to 3 months, he was jobless and he needed money. That's why he had to do the theft. You're getting my point? People, if do not have money, they do these kind of things. Money, that's why I always say, remember this term. Economic autonomy means independence. Up now, the other dimension I want to discuss is human. There's a thing, why there is scam then? In what, Nitin? In what sense you are asking? If person has no money to, why there is a scam? I'm not getting the logic here. Type your full question. In the meantime, let me continue. Okay. And it will not get. If you have access to mic, you can use it. Anyway. Rich people do scam. What the greed hai? I think that is greed. Gandhiji has said na, that Mother Earth is sufficient for everyone's need, but not for everyone's greed. Scams are a case of greed. When you become too much greedy, you need too much money. Okay, you can survive, for example, you cannot blame those people. You and I are also blamed. We can have a simple phone. We have to communicate, na? But we want Ferrari. Oh, sorry, we want iPhone. We can drive Nano, but Nano also takes us from one place to another. Now, why you want Ferrari? Because we associate power, money together. We want to rich, then ultra rich. Same, you people are preparing for civil services. I believe most of you are looking for power. This hunger for power and money leads to scam. Otherwise, you do not require that much of money to live. Otherwise, how true, eh, brother? Unblessed. Okay. So I was about to discuss women. So freebies you understood, money and PDS you understood, society. The woman में there is a report. United Nations women. United Nations, I believe everyone understand. Is there anyone who has any confusion on United Nations? तो समझ में आता है what is UN? देखिए अगर आप नहीं बोल रहे हैं तो आई एम प्रिज्यूमिंग यू अंडरस्टैंड. अगर नहीं आता प्लीज बोलिए. It does not matter how much time will take. We will not move to next week until unless we know all the terms. Okay, remember that. So UN Women is a specialized body. United Nations has a specialized body dedicated to the women's cause, known as UN Women. So this UN Women has published a report by the name of Intimate Partner Violence. It argues that around 90% of women in developing countries are subjected to intimate partner violence. 90% is a very significant figure. मतलब means 9 out of 10 girls in developing countries face intimate partner violence. Intimate partner मतलब forced sex and mental pressure, other kind of things. And why it happens? The biggest reason, for example, in India, it is often found a husband is abusing. Highly abusing in all manner. Still, the woman live with that person. Why? Because of no economic autonomy. She knows if I leave this person, then where I will go? I have no source of income. That person earns the money. And second, societal pressure is also there. Society expect a woman to be subordinate. It's societal because we live in a patriarchal system. That's a different thing. But economic dimension is because she is not economically autonomous. लेकिन 10,000 रुपए भी अगर कोई कमाता है, if a woman earns 10,000 rupees, even then it is sufficient for autonomy. कुछ तो जिंदा रहने के लिए है, but if that person is completely dependent on the male partner, so they are subjected to violence, and that is what UN Women highlighted. UN Women found 90% of women in developing countries are subjected to intimate partner violence, and the majority, 90% of 90% of these people are because of economic reasons. Apart from other reasons like societal and love. Because you have kids and you love the kid, you do not want to leave them. Other kind of things aside, economy is one of the reasons. Clear everyone? Issues? All the issues are clear. Freebies, PDS, selective targeting, society. Okay. Now come the UBS. That's why I was giving time to UBS. Universal. Universal. It means it will be targeted to India's entire population. All 140 crore people will get, say for example, 5,000 rupees per month in your bank account. Unconditional. All 150 or all 140 crore people of India will get 5,000 rupees in their bank account without any condition, without any sex, gender, without any gender, race, religion, caste biases. So it's universal. Advantage. First advantage. This error will never take place. Everyone will have the money. This error will never take place. So selectivity will be running fine. Second problem. The problem with women, most of the women, is economic autonomy. So they will achieve that. Another problem. The threat of automation. World Bank argues that 69% jobs in India are under the threat of automation. They get jobs like mine, which are intellect-based jobs. They are not at the risk of automation because intellect and automation may not work. Artificial intelligence आएगा तब देखेंगे. But for now, the people, for example, a car is made by 10 laborers. A company install a machine. It lacked of 9 laborers. So 9 people lost a job because of one machine. That is what World Bank highlighted. That 69% people in India are under the threat of automation. Their jobs are at loss of automation. So in that scenario, if you have 5,000 rupees per month, it's a social security. सबको समझ में आ रहा है what is significance of UBI? You will get social security. You will get economic empowerment. It will lead to direct enhancement of nutrition, food, poverty, job विकास और एक और फायदा automation पूजा means machine insertion of machines. Automation means using machine for production. अब imagine this, if you have seen क्या बोलते हैं उसे beggars. Why you give beggar a money of food? Because you think yeah, you pity that person. That person does not have this and that. You think yeah, that person does not have money. मेरा क्या जाएगा 100 रुपए के खाने में? But imagine this, when you know that every single person in India is getting 5,000 rupees in account. So what is the advantage? You will never give money to a poor beggar. You will never give money to a beggar. You know that person must have 5,000 rupees per month. So with this, the entire system that we have, beggary is an organized crime in India. So imagine how many children you will free by 5,000 who are in this vicious cycle of beggary because somebody has to benefit out of it. समझ में आ रहा सबको? UPI has multiple benefits. Is it clear, everyone? Okay. So these are the dimensions we had to discuss. अब issue क्या आता है? Why India does not have UPI? The issue is economic feasibility. Giving 5,000 rupees to 140 crore people is virtually impossible. It will be multiple times of union budget. And if imagine if government of India or all the government of state, if they will spend entire money in UPI, then how will Modi ji do central Vista? Okay, how this new parliament will be built? How the Arvind Kejriwal or other CM will buy their new chamchamati car? Yeah, they want Z-class security. Who will spend on Z-class security? Who will spend on this mega event that are happening? तो ये भी है ना, देखिए जनता को पैसा देने के if this politician will give money to the people, then how will they buy the costly stuff they have? ठीक है, that is for the fun, but there is a genuine problem. The expenditure is too much, so we have to find an innovative solution. Again, that is an economic problem. Mega event नहीं होते हर, haven't you seen the rallies, sponsored rallies, this Udghatan Sabhas, where a bridge has been made, it has been inaugurated by one politician, then the next politician, then the next politician. That is mega events. They are sponsored by the government. Remember, when a prime minister moves from his house, even before movement, lakhs of rupees are spent. When prime minister just moves out of the house, before movement, lakhs of rupees are spent because the entire route has to be sanitized. Police personnel has to be deployed. They have to be given additional paraphernalia. So even before movement, lakh of rupees will be spent. Uditi, then logic will be lost, na? We discussed this here, na? The problem is inclusion-exclusion error. We are unable to. It is problem with every country, not only us. Shubham, for that you need to remember that class we discussed that. Do you remember that personal data protection wali class? There we discussed the role of globalization, that class of civilization and all theory. That is what is happening. Of course, it's a problem in every part of the world. I'm not singling out India. This is a problem in every country. Clear, everyone? What are the issue? Biggest issue is money constraint, which is I believe is an economic problem, can be solved. But and look at the advantage of UBI to society, to women rights, to LGBT rights, to children, to abusive fathers, to your food, to your nutrition, to your health, to your freebies issue. Single pill for a lot of issues, but economic constraint. Clear, everyone? The significance, what is UBI, and how it is to play. Any issue you can ask. Okay, then if you have no issue. Of course, rather, beggary is an organized crime. when you give money to a beggar ना, small kid जो चलते हैं उनको लाया जाता है, they are brought for a purpose. It's a very serious. देखिए क्या होता है, अगर मान लीजिए वो बच्चे, क्या होता है अभी they are in beggary. If there is a girl involved in that, after a few years she will be forced into prostitution. Beggary is intricately linked with this all prostitution now. It's an organized crime. Of course, human trafficking, bonded labor, they all are linked together. With this 5,000, you can prevent a lot of people, a lot of women who come from rural areas and are forced into prostitution. They could be prevented because they know if, for example, nobody loves them in their house, they know that the government of India loves them. The government of India, again, Nitin, good point, very good point, that it will increase consumption of alcohol. But isn't it elitist view? इसी पे तो हम लड़ रहे हैं थोड़ी देर पहले. Isn't it elitist view that you think the common person is so stupid that they will drink alcohol? It's not your problem. It's a general perception. I'm not blaming you, but a good point you raised. अब इस पे let me give you a study. मैं पढ़ा नहीं सकता था actually. In economics, I tell this study. देखिए, there is a study in Madhya Pradesh. This point was done in Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh में there was a trial project in which few villages were selected and everyone was given money by the government. It was seen how they will react. And please believe me, in that study we found with the given of money every month to every citizen, every person in that the selected villages, there was increase in nutrition, there was increase in education, there was increase in business output, there was increase in women health. So in that case study, it was a trial done in Madhya Pradesh. It was found that giving money directly to the people had positive impact through and through. I'm not saying that there will be not people who will abuse it. Say for example, out of 100%, even 2% are alcohol abusers. So for 2% should be lack of 98%. Clear logic, Nitin? It has been conclusively proven that giving money directly to people always helps. It's a Madhya Pradesh trial project. Clear? Okay. So one alternative that has been suggested is, that's why I was discussing this. It was in news recently. That is universal basic insurance. Because the UBI has numerous advantages, but the problem is to implement UBI is hard, monetarily speaking, and also government does not want to give up its privilege. Currently, government decides what you will eat in PDS, and the government gives you freebie. So the logic is, if you will get the money in your hand, you will get autonomy. No governments like autonomous people. If you have money in your hand, you will get autonomy, you get independence, you will question the government. And no government likes that. Having said that, universal basic insurance. What is the logic? The logic is there will be a central fund in which everyone pays indirect tax. So we will put 0.01% of indirect tax, say for example. And everyone will contribute, say for example, 100 rupees, every Indian citizen in this corpus. From this corpus, every citizen will get, say for example, 20,000 rupees of insurance. Everyone, not single person, everyone. Now this is good. Every 140 crore people will have an insurance of 20,000. It means if you lose a job or you are in between jobs. If you are a woman whose husband is abusive and you want to leave that husband, so you always have an insurance, a universal basic insurance to cover your needs for a time. A good substitute for UBI. Until unless we get the UBI, I believe it is the way forward. Clear everyone? Logic of universal basic insurance. इसमें देखिए, insurance you don't understand. Insurance you take, health insurance, life insurance, same will be there. Every Indian will contribute, say for example, 10 rupees or 100 rupees in that account, a central corpus, in a form of tax or anything. The mechanism is not there because it's an idea. If it will be implemented, then we will come to what we should do, what we should not do, how to implement. But logic is clear, insurance, in which everyone will pay the premium, and when people will be in the necessity. For example, during Corona, a lot of people lost their job. They can use this insurance directly. Clear? Pooja? Okay. With that note in mind, so this was the logic, and I hope this news you understood. Again, it's very important for society. Everything I've listed here, so please read this Tandula committee ke Nehru comment and all government effort. इसमें you can place Sikkim. Sikkim is the only state which has implemented UPI. Everyone, rather not only unorganized, everyone. That's the advantage. All 140 crore people with their Aadhaar card linked to bank account will get this insurance. Clear? Universal basic insurance. And again, it's an idea. अभी तो क्या होगा हम इसे implement करेंगे, then we will implement it, then there will be few problems, but always progress should be there. We should always try new ideas for welfare. कमी होगी सही करेंगे, but try करना जरूरी है. चलो, everything देखिए मैंने list किया है. What is UPI? UPI means तो नहीं होगा रहा था. You will become the DM ना, implement कर देना अपनी district में. अपने district का एक fund बना देना.
फिर मेरे को नुकसान हो जाएगा.
तो आपको क्या नुकसान होगा?
मेरी फैमिली को तो नुकसान होगा ना.
I don't have the logic. आपकी फैमिली को भी नुकसान होगा.
पॉलिटिशियन है ना क्योंकि हमारे.
अच्छा जी, नुकसान नहीं फायदा होगा. आपके नाम से वोट मांगेंगे आपके घर वाले. अब जिस डिस्ट्रिक्ट में आप डीएम होंगे और आपकी ऐसी यूपीआई स्कीम इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे तो एवरी पर्सन इन दैट डिस्ट्रिक्ट विल वोट फॉर यू. जिसको आपने नाम ले लिया कि इसको वोट डालना है, एवरीवन विल वोट फॉर दैट पर्सन.
पर सर उस डिस्ट्रिक्ट में तो कंपल्सन नहीं है ना कि मेरे घर वालों को जो पार्टी है वो अलाउ कर देगी. वहाँ पहले कोई और होगा तो फिर
ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. रादर ऑलवेज रिमेंबर इलेक्शन में विनेबिलिटी देखी जाती है. अगर आपके घर वाला गारंटी जीतेगा ना तो कोई भी टिकट मिलेगा. चलो वो तो डिस्कशन डिबेट है. यू कैन फाइंड अ गुड आइडिया. आई एम सेइंग इट्स एन आइडिया यू कैन इम्प्लीमेंट. ट्राई करने में क्या जाता है. ये देखो नितिन को जानते पार्टी कौन सी. नितिन पार्टी है प्लूटस आईएएस. बीजेपी. यस, माय ब्रदर इज आल्सो इन बीजेपी. Periodic. Same story, rather same story here. But there is a different problem here. I simply support anyone. मेरा ऐसा नहीं है किसकी loyalty. I simply support anyone who will work for the people. मेरा सिंपल सा कंसर्न है, मेरा काम कर दो. मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता कौन बनेगा. पीएम सीएम जिसे बनना बनते रहो. मेरा काम हो रहा है, मैं वोट कर दूंगा. खत्म बात. And this is what I say. Every voter must be selfish. Every voter स्कीम पे डिपेंड करता है. There are few schemes that are literally like of Arvind Kejriwal. खासकर this दिल्ली के फरिश्ते. दिल्ली के फरिश्ते is a very good scheme. If somebody is found, if anyone is injured on the road, now you can take that person to any hospital in Delhi, any private hospital, top to top hospital, and entire burden is taken by the Delhi government. A good scheme. Anyway, ठीक है. तो this is the UPI. I have listed periodic means monthly payment, cash payment. Every individual will get it. It will be universal to everyone and it will be unconditional. And बाकी मैंने लिखा है कि paternalistic relationship and clientelistic relationship. ये कुछ नहीं होता. Clientelistic means people vote a political party for getting favors. Basically, it is a form of freebie, election freebie. Paternalistic relationship where the government decide what you will get. It's the kind of, for example, PDS. ठीक है. तो I have discussed everything. These are the terms. Everyone clear? Anything you want to colonial state? In what sense, Shubham? Paternalism, colonial state. Okay. Regarding governance, got the point. We will decide. In this context, you can link with respect to giving freedom to India. Got the point. We will decide when you will get freedom. Got the point. Cool. So, doctors and pharma nexus. This is important for your governance and ethics people. And I will include a dimension of international relations a bit later, but easy way. ठीक है, but generally it is important for the governance and ethics paper. IR is part of it. How it works? Basically, there was a news of Dolo. Dolo, I believe all of you have taken Dolo. It's a antipyretic medicine for bukhar ke liye, for fever. So recently it has been found, Dolo 650. It has been found that Dolo has given more than 1,000 crore rupees of worth of freebies to whom? Doctors. And it's a very bad nexus. If you have visited any government hospital, then you must have seen this nexus. Very, very, very bad nexus. What happens is these companies, they have something called as MPs, MRs, medical representatives. But these are the representative of pharma companies. So say for example, a pharma company XYZ, it will employ an MR. This MR will go to a doctor and they give money, they give things to doctor like ticket to Dubai, package tour for the family, laptop, TV, car, to nahi dete. But a lot of things are given to these doctors. And in return, those doctors always daru party, and in return, these doctors always prescribe their medicines. A very unethical mechanism. We have a code, uniform code for pharmaceutical marketing practice. Nobody obeys this. I personally know some MRs, and actually मैं भी उनके सामान इस्तेमाल करता हूँ. Some of my friends are in medical representative. They work for a pharmaceutical company. They go to doctors. They offer them something, money, package tour, this and that. And in return, the doctor promises to prescribe their medicines only. Whenever this is a practice in private sector. In government sector, it does not work because government has mandated that no MR can visit government hospital. First point. Second point, in government hospitals, they are forced to prescribe generic medicines. Now, what is the issue of generic medicine? In that, you should thank our founding fathers and mothers. What is the thing? Take it. For that, we need. There has been blame. Various diseases are blamed on pharmaceutical companies. That's why they said companies, if want, they can make medicine to completely eradicate a disease, but they make a medicine to control a disease. Simple logic, लोग बीमार नहीं पड़ेंगे तो कंपनी कैसे चलेगी? A cruel form of capital. Do you remember we discussed disaster capitalism? करा था मैंने इस क्लास में, in previous classes. वही है. बिल्कुल सही एग्जांपल है ये. It's a very good example of disaster capitalism. वही बिल्कुल लिंक अच्छा बनेगा इससे. Again, let's come back. So nostalgia से बाहर निकलते generic medicine पे आते हैं. So what is the issue? देखिए, there is a patent act in India. What is patent? This is something your economics teacher will teach you in detail. So we will stick to our dimensions. Patent act. For example, I make this pen. It's a innovative pen. Year vary. In India is 20. In the country it could be 15, 25. Varies from country to country. So for example, in this pen I have made. It's the product of my intellect. And this pen is used to write on a pen. By this, I can teach in a digital medium. So I will patent the technology of this pen. Whenever this pen is sold by anybody, nobody in this country or anywhere can sell or make this pen without my permission, and I am the only person to exploit this pen's production. That is called patenting. And Patent Act provides for patenting, especially in pharma. In pharma, if I make a medicine, then I can patent that medicine to exploit it exclusively. Nobody can make that medicine except me for years. And I can also decide the price. Now, what it leads to problem is purchasing power. For example, India is a developing country. That's why, we have within a year, we develop vaccine and medicines for corona. But it has been, I don't know, I think centuries. But we do not have a vaccine for dengue yet. Dengue, we do not have a vaccine yet. WHO tried a vaccine for dengue recently, but it is still in trials. To understand the significance, why dengue, malaria, they are still very common in developing countries. Because developing countries have low purchasing power. And most of the pharmaceuticals are vested in developed Western countries. They argue you have low purchasing power, so why I invest thousands of crore rupees on a medicine that I know you are unable to buy. आपको समझ आ रहा है? What is the logic the pharma company gives? I will not invest on disease suffering, affecting people who cannot buy. We understood that from day one. The people of India, the founding fathers and mothers of India, they understood this. That's why we invested in generic medicine from day one. What is generic medicine? Generic medicines are those medicines who are out of patent. Say, for example, I made a drug Dolo. Say, for example, the salt or the compound of Dolo is used for example, fever. I made this Dolo, I patented it, I got 20 years right. After 20 years, anyone can make this medicine. Anyone. And that medicine will be called as generic medicine. Salt will be the same. Meaning the component I use in my medicines will be the same in everyone's medicines. But the thing is, it is out of patent. The advantage is it will be cheap, very cheap. If I charge, say for example, 100 rupees for Dolo, the generic medicine will be 2 rupees or 3 rupees at most. यहाँ तक everyone clear the logic of generic medicines? बोलिए guys, any issue? Okay. So this is how it works in government hospitals. Yes, बिल्कुल सही लेते. Basic repeat. Let me repeat again. For example, I make a medicine Dolo, which is used for treating fever. So I invented that medicine. So I will go for the patent office in Delhi. In India, I will go for patent office. Patent office will give me a patent certificate, which says that I made Dolo, which has this component, this is the composition, this is how it is made. And I, that is XYZ company, can exploit Dolo's production exclusively for 20 years. No company in this country can make Dolo except me. No company in this country can make or sell Dolo except me. That is called patent. यहाँ तक clear है? Now what happens after 20 years, after expiry of this patent, what will happen? Anyone can make Dolo. Anyone. They will use different name. I use the name Dolo for my medicine. They can use any name, XYZ name. Okay, alpha, beta, gamma, whatever they like. And anyone can make that. And such kind of medicines are called generic medicines. If you have ever visited to a medical store, so you have seen that when you go to for a medicine, वो क्या बोलता है? Sir, I don't have this medicine, but I have a similar medicine of same salt. कहता है ना, वो यही होता है. He says that this medicine is basically out of patent, so somebody else is also making this medicine. So salt is same, but the name is different. हाँ, हर सूची पे आएंगे, उस पर repatent पे आएंगे अभी. इतना understood, everyone understood up till here the logic of generic medicines, and you should thank India's founding fathers and mothers. They understood that India is a developing country, a poor country at time of independence. We have very low purchasing power. So no country or no company of the world who disaster capitalism basically, they will not invest in medicines for people of India. So from day one, we invested in generic medicines, and thanks to their effort, India is the world's largest producer of generic medicine. That's why the medicine you get for 2 rupees, 3 rupees, or you go to a medical store and you say, buy me bukhara, give me a medicine. They give you for 2 or 3 rupees. That medicine is because our founding fathers and mother had the wits and the guts. Clear, everyone? That's the advantage of generic medicine. आपको आज तक नहीं मिली, क्या नहीं मिली? 2 रुपए 3 रुपए की दवाई मिलती है. पत्ता मत लीजिए. For example, I've seen जो छोटे, for example, these laborers और ना, if they get ill, they cannot afford to go hospital, क्योंकि actually क्या होता है, उनका फिर daily wage loss होता है. तो क्या करते हैं, किसी मेडिकल स्टोर पे जाते हैं, उसे 2-3 रुपए देते हैं, उसे एक गोली काट के दे देता है. ये गोली खाइए, एक गोली खाइए, ठीक हो जाएगा. ठीक है, कभी देखना, हाँ ऐसे होता है. It's a good thing, na? Generic medicine has saved India. Otherwise, if you go to another country, na, it's very costly. India में अच्छी है. तो अब यहाँ तक बात आती है. ठीक है. So what happens is in private sector, that's why in private sector you don't get generic medicines. Private sector में कभी generic medicine नहीं मिलेगी. If you go to the private hospital ना, the doctor there always recommend a branded medicine in prescription. Why? Because that person gets money from a pharma company, and that is the issue we are discussing. अच्छा, तो आप हर बार प्राइवेट में जाते हो, इसका मतलब कभी हम जैसे गरीबों की तरह सरकारी में भी जाया करो.
मैं गई नहीं आज तक
हॉस्पिटल ही नहीं गए कभी?
नहीं.
ओ भाई साहब, बड़ा ही स्ट्रॉन्ग इम्यून सिस्टम. कोरोना आप ही के जीन से बना था क्या?
नहीं सर, मेरे को तो 2 बार हो चुका है, बट हमारे फैमिली डॉक्टर हैं तो.
अच्छा, यू हैव अ फैमिली डॉक्टर. ये बोलो ना, यू हैव अ पर्सनल डॉक्टर. चलो,
पर्सनल कैसे हो सकता है, मेरे लिए थोड़ी ना काम करते हो.
अरे गॉट इट यार, जस्ट किडिंग. चलो, इट्स गुड. अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हैव फैमिली डॉक्टर, नॉट. अब देखो, मेरी तो फैमिली में डॉक्टर है, तो मुझे फैमिली डॉक्टर की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. मेरा भाई डॉक्टर है, तो आवश्यकता नहीं पड़ती मेरे को. एनीवे, सो व्हाट आई वाज सेइंग, मूव करा दिया आपने बोले. ठीक है, तो एवरीवन इज क्लियर जेनेरिक मेडिसिन का इशू एंड व्हाई दिस न्यूज़ वी आर डिस्कसिंग. इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इशू इन हेल्थ. In governance, there is a chapter on health. This issue is very important. Sakshi, patent material is 100% yours. Nobody can make it. After patent, they make it, and they give you royalty. It depends upon medicine to medicine. 1%, 2%, maybe 5% at most. But after patent. So this is the issue. I hope everyone understood what is the issue. Now we will come to next dimension. Something I think who did? Nitin talked about. Who talked? Harsh talked about repatenting. So this is we need to discuss again. Okay, what happens? For example, I take a real life example. There was a Nexavar, yeah, Novartis का मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा. Nexavar was the medicine, I believe. So what was the issue? अच्छा, ये तो compulsory license था. For example, I made a medicine XYZ. It treats dengue. Say for example, it's a dengue medicine. I made a dengue medicine, very important innovation. It will become a blockbuster drug. Blockbuster drug means it is consumed in large amount. So after 20 years, it will be out of remdesivir का लग जाता है. Yes, remdesivir I think repatenting के लिए apply किया था. So what happened? Dengue medicine. So dengue after 20 years, I will try to apply for this for repatenting. What I will do is I will change the formula here and there. I will try to do a little bit of modification in my drug. Say for example, currently you need 2 tablets per day, then you need 1 tablet per day. So I will say my efficacy has improved. Then I will apply to the patent office again. And you know, we are intelligent people, so we already have section 3D of Patent Act, which deals with efficacy clause. It prevents repatenting. It prevents repatenting, also known as evergreening of patent. Repatenting or evergreening of patent. Section 3D says that in order to repatent a medicine, there should be enhancement in efficacy. Meaning, if that medicine controls dengue, then in next evolution, that medicine must treat dengue entirely. It's this kind of efficacy enhancement. If you cannot show efficacy enhancement, for minor improvement, there will be no patenting. Clear everyone, the issue of repatenting? And it is a very significant dispute between USA and India. In India-US relation you will study. That's why I said international relation dimension. US is very much against this. Sakshi, you would not understand repatenting. Sakshi, are you talking about evergreening of patent? Okay, evergreening of patent, let me again explain. For example, I made a medicine XYZ that controls dengue. For example, you have to, if you have a dengue, you take this medicine for 2 months. In 2 months, your dengue will be gone. not ended but gone. Well, basically the symptoms will be over and you can work on medicine. uh, Previously, if you remember, there used to be a long-term course for tuberculosis. Now it's a very short-term course. So what will happen? I will patent that medicine. I will exploit that medicine for 20 years. For 20 years, I will make that medicine. I will sell that medicine. After 20 years, anyone can make that medicine and sell. So what I will do is, I will do minor changes in the medicine. Any minor change, a hair bit, here there change of formula. Okay, here they change of efficacy. For example, rather than 2 months, now you need 1 month. This kind of minor changes. Still, you need my medicine at same price, but rather than 2 months, now there is 1 month changes. Medicine is same, but only the duration is less. So in this scenario, I will take my medicine again to the patent office. I will say, I have brought this new medicine. Now you require 1 month of tablets. So my patent office will say, no, I will not give you patent again because the medicine is the same. All you have done is reduce the time period of taking medicines. You can do that easily. मान लीजिए अभी आपकी मेडिसिन में 20 मिलीग्राम component होता है. What you can do is made it 40 milligram in one tablet, enhance the component from 20 milligram to 40 milligram. So one tablet will work like twice. तो ये तो कोई बात नहीं हुई. Component is same, सबको efficacy is same. You have just increased the quantity of the नहीं, पेटेंट प्लांट नहीं कर सकते. यू कैन नॉट पेटेंट समथिंग दैट इज नेचुरल. ठीक है, आप तुलसी को पेटेंट नहीं कर सकते. पेटेंट इज इनोवेशन. इफ हाँ, फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ यू टेक समथिंग आउट ऑफ तुलसी, सम कंपोनेंट आउट ऑफ तुलसी एंड यू मेक अ मेडिसिन दैट ट्रीट्स, से फॉर एग्जांपल कैंसर, देन यू कैन पेटेंट दैट, बट प्लांट कैन नॉट बी पेटेंट. भैया सेक्सुअली प्रोड्यूस हो गया एसेक्सुअल प्रोडक्शन, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट सिनेरियो. जो आप कह रहे हैं, इफ इट्स, अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग, इफ इट्स अ नेचुरल प्रोसेस, इफ हाँ, इफ यू आर जस्ट फॉर एग्जांपल एल्गे, एल्गे के केस में हो सकता है. एल्गे इज अ काइंड ऑफ प्राइमरी प्लांट. इफ यू प्रोड्यूस अ प्लांट, यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट, यू प्रोड्यूस अ प्लांट दैट ट्रीट्स समथिंग, innovation should be there. The key clause is innovation. Natural thing patent नहीं होगी. Is it clear? Innovation is the key point. Anyway, so किसने पूछा था? I forgot the question. Sakshi, is it clear that after few years I will go for patent? This is known as, like all hybrids, in what sense? You plant hybrid की बात कर रहे हो क्या? The plant hybrid that we produce cross pollination and all. If you treat a disease, आप हाइब्रिड किस सेंस में बनाते हैं? हाँ, अगर आप जेनेटिकली मॉडिफाई करें, then it can be applied for patent. आप अप्लाई कीजिए, then it up to patent office. Whether that patent office will consider genetically modified organisms. GMO तो बिल्कुल पेटेंट होते हैं. Yes, GMO can be patented, but again there should be innovation. If you are doing some innovative, for example, आपका there is a new evolution of क्या होता है, nanoparticles. Nanoparticles, very nanoparticles that can go in your body, that can clean your body from inside. Experimentation is being done for heart disease. In heart, your vein get blocked now. So we are developing nanoparticles. They will go in your veins. They will clean your veins from inside. So we do not no longer require stent and all. A good idea. But of course, GMO can be patented. Again, the people who are unable to understand GMO and all, please, that is a part of environment. Because something Sakshi is talking about, that is a part of environment. Don't worry, your environment teacher will teach you. अच्छा, बाकी ये बताओ, हमारा सबको समझ में आया? Everyone understood this? Patenting issue, repatenting issue, section 3D, all clear? Okay. This is a dispute between USA and India. India does not want to enhance patenting. India simply says you have to prove efficacy. ऐसा नहीं चलेगा कि you change your formula here and there and I will give you patent. No, it will not. Clear, everyone? ठीक है. So these are the issues that we had to discuss. What is the solution for this problem? Is giving legal teeth. We should bring a code in which we should put a legal mandate. If a doctor prescribes a medicine, of a particular company, and it is found that they are linked to that company, they will be penalized. Yes, Priyanshi, you have a question? Priyanshi? अच्छा, accidentally हो गया. Okay, cool, कोई नहीं. So, with that in mind, I hope a lot of concepts are clear. Again, it's just I have scratched the surface of patenting. Whosoever will teach you economics in international institution, they will go for even more details, which I cannot start here. What time लग जाएगा? Our issue is clear. Now moonlighting. ये बड़ा कमाल का concept है. I like this. In economics, as a general rule, please everyone remembers concepts. UPSC has a habit of asking concept in economics. What they do is any new term that is circulating in current event, they pick it up and directly ask, what is this? There will be few statements, you have to select the right one. So moonlighting, remember, does anyone remember in earlier class we talked about techno-nationalism? Techno-nationalism, that term is remember? So वैसे ही the term will be asked and you will be asked to select the right alternative. So moonlighting क्या है? It is the act of having second job. Give me a second. Moonlighting, it is an act of having second job. How it works? Actually क्या है? We are having work from home culture nowadays because of information technology. Today you all are all studying from home. You all are studying from home, na? For example, currently you all are studying from home. How we have made this possible? Technology. This technology has allowed me to interact with you. Harsh, there is no proper law. That is what I am writing. There is no overarching law. Currently ऐसा कोई law particularly नहीं है जो आपको violate करे. But हाँ, गवर्नमेंट जॉब में एक फायदा ये होता है, गवर्नमेंट जॉब में you have to apply with a certificate कि आपने previous job छोड़ दी है. But during in your government job, अगर आप साइड में कोई छोटा मोटा काम करने लगे, अब किसी को नहीं पता लगने वाला. वो एक अलग बात है. पर उससे पहले आपको सर्टिफिकेट देना पड़ता है. खासकर जैसे सिविल्स में क्या होता है, इफ यू आर गोइंग फॉर इंटरव्यू तो उसमें आपका सर्टिफिकेट मांगा जाता है कि आपने अपने प्रीवियस एम्प्लॉयर को इन्फॉर्म किया है कि आप सिविल्स का इंटरव्यू देने जा रहे हैं. क्लियर? बाकी देखिए, currently what I was looking to say is moonlighting is the act of having second job. Why it is happening? Because of work from home culture, because of information technology. A lot of people are working from home, and these all jobs are basically intellect-based job. For example, the kind of job I am doing, it's an intellect-based job. So even if today I am doing two jobs, then nobody can find out. I can easily work for any other coaching institute for content developer and all. Nobody will be able to find me out. I can teach here, do content development somewhere, check test, see somewhere else. Overarching means one law treating this issue comprehensively. One law treating this issue comprehensively. So intellect-based jobs. Same happens in IT. In IT, you have to achieve deadlines. For example, you have to build a software. So you can build multiple, you can contract with multiple companies, you can work in multiple companies. They will send you work at home, whatever coding, you will just deliver the project on deadline. So nobody will be able to know. That is the issue. Recently, Wipro chairman has called it cheating. He has said that these employees are cheating. No, because you cannot identify them. If I am doing multiple jobs, I am delivering on time, then how you will identify me as a moonlighter? Clear? सबको issue क्या आ रहा है? And there is no overarching law. Remember this. Currently, there is no particular law that prohibits multiple jobs. You can do multiple jobs if you want. पकड़ने वाली बात है, पकड़ेगा तो होगा इशू, अदरवाइज इशू नहीं होगा. Yes, issue आता है. The issue is with respect to your health. Biggest issue आता है health का. अब नहीं लगता शुभम, यही तो एडवांटेज है वर्क फ्रॉम होम में. वर्क फ्रॉम होम में nobody asks you. Work from home works on deadlines. For example, if for example a test series is to be made, the corporation or for example a coaching institute will tell a person that who is working from home that this is the test series. I want 100 questions by say for example by Monday. Now it's your choice. जब मन काम करना है करो, नहीं करना मत करो. जब मन करे करो. यहाँ पे आउटपुट पैरामीटर है. Nobody आउटकम पैरामीटर आउटपुट पैरामीटर है. यहाँ पे मेन है डेडलाइन अचीव करने का होता है. इसमें टाइमिंग का नहीं होता. Anyway, सबको issue clear है. That's why a lot of people are having. No, nobody cares. Like Google, these IT companies, they don't care how many hours you work. They care about deadline. I have a deadline. If you work 18 hours a day, I don't care. Anyway, imagine this. Typically, an employee in a office not work more than 6 hours. Even if the shift is of 9 hours, that person will not work more than 6 hours. You include lunch, you include gossip time, you include bitching time. इधर तो bitch भी करना होता है. ठीक है. If you include all the times, तो nobody works more than 6 hours. By any measure, nobody works 6 hours. So if imagine this, you are working at home, 6 hour productive hours. So working at home, you can easily work 18 hours. So imagine 3 times. You can do 3 jobs in a day. Yeah. वो तो अपना होता है. Rupam, overarching means single law. No overarching law means there is no single particular law that outlaws moonlighting. Parliament is yet to make a law that clearly says that double job is not permitted. That is what overarching means. बताओ भाई क्लियर. 1.5 घंटे से बोलते बोलते हम थक गए. लगता है मुझे इशू से बोलना चाहिए. मेरे थ्रोट सर्जरी का पैसा भी है. चलो, मूनलाइटिंग इज क्लियर. अगला इशू देखते हैं. अगला इशू इज रिस्पेक्ट टू इशू ऑफ क्रिएशनिज्म. अब ये यू कैन टेक एन एग्जांपल. इट इज एन एडिशन. ठीक है. इट इज एन एडिशन टू व्हाट? It is an addition to the earlier class where we discussed techno-nationalism, and the previous class before that we discussed personal data protection bill. And in that, I believe you must remember all the issues with respect to globalization, that class of civilization theory. उसमें addition है. It is an addition. Recently in the US, there are white fundamentalists. The way there is assertion of Hinduism in India, similarly there is assertion of Christianity in US. So these people are saying that we should add creationism in the science curriculum as an alternative theory of origin of human species. Current theory of origin of human species is Darwin's theory. Currently, we all believe in Darwin. As Darwin said, वही वाली बात है. तो ये हो रहा है. For example, अभी if you see, मैं नाम नहीं लूंगा किसी का, but you know there are some issues that are happening. यहाँ पे कुछ भी ऐड किया जा रहा है करिकुलम में, कुछ पार्टीज द्वारा, कुछ स्टेट्स द्वारा. I will not take the name. I love my freedom. ठीक है. तो that is the thing. So that is the same logic happening here. This white fundamentalists in the Christian revivalist kind of group, they are saying because Christianity believes in creationism. This world was created by God, the Adam and Eve. ठीक है. So they said, please include that in the in science curriculum. So we believe in Darwin. Darwin basically said evolution. We believe in Darwin's theory of evolution, that we all have come to this level by evolution, selective selection, as it is called. So Darwin theory आपने पढ़ी होगी, doesn't matter. So it's a very good example. I have included this in notes as an example to the news we had earlier also. अरे इसको मुझे बहुत अच्छी स्टोरी याद आई. अब 5 मिनट में एक स्टोरी सुनते हैं, थोड़ा मूड लाइट करते हैं. बहुत सरदर्द हो गया. देखिए, there was a very good story. I think it was in Gujarat textbook. It was reported. They added. Oditi, creationism means it's a religious belief that this world is created by God. But we are people of science. We are not people of religion. We are people of science. We believe in Darwin. As Darwin theory emphasized that we all are the product of, you and I are the product of evolution. We were apes once upon a time. and in anthropology, who have anthropology optional, they must study that we all came from Africa. We are all are Homo. अच्छा, what is the name of our species? हमारी species का नाम क्या है? किसको पता है? Yes, Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens. Homo is the group. In Homo there are numerous species. Sapien is one of them. So ऐसा नहीं है हम बचपन से ही हरामी रहे हैं बेसिकली. सॉरी, पार्डन फॉर द वर्ड, बट हम बेसिकली बचपन से ही रहे हैं. ठीक है, हमने हरकतें बचपन से ही करी. हमारे एंसेस्टर भी हरामी रहे बहुत वाले. कैसे? There used to be number of species. Sapiens was not only one species. There were other species as well of Homo group. We eradicated them. So we started our species on bloodbath. ठीक है, बात ये है. तो we are one species among a Homo group. ठीक है, that is Homo sapiens. And religion like Christianity, they argue that humanity is created by God, Adam and Eve. So that is creationism. Is it clear? कुछ ने पूछा था ये, उदिति ने. Okay. अच्छा, मैं स्टोरी बता रहा था. With that देखते हैं. So the story was simple. There was I think Gujarat textbook, it was added that how humans were made. So in that it was written, Homo erectus thigh, I believe. Yes, the species that we fought with, I think. So what I was saying, अगर ऐसे तो बहुत से होमो ग्रुप है, इरेक्टस, हेबेलस, पता नहीं कौन सा. तो in that story it was written that humans basically put bread से logic बनाया. When they put bread too long in the oven, it got black, and that is how Negroes were created. Negroes, the Africans. When the God took out the bread early, and that is how white people were created. But when the God keep the bread for an optimum time at optimum temperature, and that is how Indians were created. Basically, we are the best of black and white. देखा, this is creationism. It was in, I think, school books. I think 5th की class की book में था ये. क्या कह सकते सारे, पता नहीं. यही होता है when you include this creationism in science ना, यही होता है. Anyway, so रिपीट कर दो. ऐसे रिपीट सिंपल से होता था. ब्रेड ज्यादा देर रखी तो निग्रो बन गए, कम देर रखी तो व्हाइट बन गए, जब सही टाइम पे रखी तो हम बने. So we are the best of both. Anyway, electro in Jammu Kashmir. So this is the next news, and with this news we will end the class. Oh, okay, what is the issue? The issue is government of India has removed Article 370. I will not debate Article 370 here, ठीक है, because you all know. मुझे जहां तक पता लगा तिहाड़ में इंटरनेट नहीं आता है, तो वहां से मैं लाइव स्ट्रीम कैसे करूंगा आप लोगों के लिए. So I will avoid debating 370. ऐसा नहीं है. The logic is your polity teacher and internal security. Whosoever will teach you polity and internal security. नहीं, ईडी नहीं आएगी. ईडी आएगी तो क्या मिलेगा उसे? 2-3 बियर की बोतल मिल जाएगी. उससे ज्यादा क्या मिलेगा मेरे कमरे में? उससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला. बेचारी ईडी खाली हाथ हो जाएगी. हो सकता है वो 10-20 रुपए मुझे दे जाए कि सर थोड़ा कुछ खा पी लिया करो. So Article 370 has been removed. Because it has been removed, in that scenario, recently the Jammu Kashmir Chief Electoral Officer, remember this point, that the electoral role is the responsibility of Chief Electoral Officer. They revise, they are the supreme boss of revision of the electoral. Remember this point. So Jammu Kashmir Chief Electoral Officer, and every state have their electoral officers, and their sub electoral officers, district electoral officers. Remember that. So the Chief Electoral Officers has recently announced that anyone who is living ordinarily in Jammu Kashmir can avail the opportunity to be enlisted as a voter in Union Territory. Previously, it was only the resident who were eligible. In this, basically, the Article 35A is to be discussed. Just a second, please, for my throat. It is itching. अरे हर्ष बुखार के लिए होता है। अरे मैं सोच रहा था राधा, फिर मैंने कहा चलो यार मजा आ रहा है, पढ़ते रहते हैं। ज्यादा ही हो गया, पहले पे ज्यादा हैवी हो गया। सुबह से क्लास चल रही है ना मेरी, करंट अफेयर्स, कितनी सारी करंट अफेयर्स की क्लासें। एनीवे, सो द इश्यूज आर्टिकल 335A। आर्टिकल 35A provided, ये पहले था अब नहीं है, it was part of the constitution, now it is no longer the part of the constitution. It provided a definition of permanent residence. So you know, before 370 annulation, the citizen of the rest of India cannot become citizen of Jammu Kashmir. Oh, sorry, resident of Jammu Kashmir. It is defined here. The Jammu Kashmir Constitution Section 6, which defines permanent resident, which is under Article 350A of Indian Constitution. Article 350A of Indian Constitution empowers the Jammu Kashmir legislature to define permanent residence. Under that, Section 6 of Jammu Kashmir's Constitution, previous Constitution, it defines permanent residence as a person who was a state subject on May 14, 1954, or who has been a resident of state for 10 years and has lawfully acquired immovable property. This was the criteria to be considered as a permanent resident. अब वो हट गया, आपको भी 370 है नहीं, तो क्राइटेरिया भी अबॉलिश हो गया। नाउ एनीवन कैन बिकम द बेसिकली रेसिडेंट ऑफ जम्मू कश्मीर एंड कैन बी द पार्ट ऑफ द इलेक्टोरल लॉ। अब देखिए, आई हैव नो आइडिया हाउ द पीपल ऑफ जम्मू कश्मीर विल रिसीव इट, बिकॉज रिमेंबर दिस, नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न इंडिया एंड जम्मू कश्मीर, दे हैव सेम इशू। In northeast, everyone is treated as a foreigner. ये मत सोचिएगा कि you are from Delhi, you go to Assam, you are not treated as a foreigner. You are. For example, Nagaland. Nagaland में अभी भी, even today on the walls of various homes, it is written, Naga are not Indians. Nagas are not Indians. Nagaland में, whosoever will teach you internal security, they will teach you this, all the issue of northeast. Northeast people still treat everyone as a foreigner. For them, anyone who is not, yes, in an public, anyone who is not a part of northeast is a foreigner, including a person living in Delhi, UP, Bihar. Keep this in mind. I have no idea how this news will be interpreted by Jammu Kashmir. They are already angry with 370's annulation. And I always say one thing, self-governance is the key for everything. This is the logic we have Panchayati Raj. Why we brought Panchayati Raj? For same reason. Government should go near to the people. I'm not saying that a DM is better than our sarpanch. Sorry, a sarpanch is better than DM. I'm not saying that. But the thing is that sarpanch is elected by the people. If that sarpanch is corrupt, the people can remove him. A DM can be removed by the state government. That's the logic of Panchayati Raj. Got the logic? Self-governance. When government is near to you, imagine this: you are a villager. You do not have water in your house. What you will do? Who is near to you? The sarpanch of the house or the DM? The sarpanch. He lives in your village. A DM may be living in some government office somewhere outside with security. A sarpanch is a person whom with you have shared your childhood, because एक ही गांव में पढ़े बने थे आप लोग. So your sarpanch is near to you, and when your sarpanch has the power to bring water to your house, you have a problem, you will go to your sarpanch and say, अरे यार मेरे घर पे पानी नहीं आ रहा. That is your personal friend. That person will call somebody and you will get the water. So that leads to empowerment of people. You will feel like, yes, I am powerful. You will not feel that a government sitting in Delhi or government sitting in state capital is dictating your life. You will be like, I command my life. And a society where people have an identity of self-governance, they never revolt. Remember this one. And that's why I believe, and that's why we have Panchayati Raj, we have 5th and 6th scheduled states. And the logic is same, to give self-governance to the people. That's why we have PESA Act. All these things will be taught in polity. Clear everyone, the issue of self-governance? Okay. Okay, then anyone has any confusion? लेकिन they are at least from your society, but the point you are not. देखिए ये कहना गलत है सर, एक डीएम से ज्यादा elite कौन होगा? If I compare a district magistrate and a sarpanch, I will say sarpanch is less elite. Elite देखिए हर जगह पाए जाते हैं. That is the tendency of elite. If you are a smart person, you will always be in power. Okay, you will always supreme. That's a different case. But a district magistrate coming from recruited by the union government, trained by the union government, given to the state government, appointed by the state government, may not have much emotional empathy for you than your sarpanch. मैं नहीं कह रहा सरपंच अच्छा है, हो सकता है वो करप्ट हो, महा करप्ट हो. ठीक है, देखा है ना सरपंच, आफ्टर बिकमिंग अ सरपंच ऑल ऑफ अ सडन यू गेट क्या बोलते हैं इसे, फॉर्च्यूनर. कहां से आ जाती है फॉर्च्यूनर तुम्हारे पास सरपंच बनते? उससे पहले तो कुछ भी नहीं था. ठीक है, तो आई एम नॉट सेइंग यू आर नॉट करप्ट, बट व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज दैट पर्सन इज स्टिल नियर टू द पीपल एंड एवरीवन इज नॉट करप्ट. मैं हमेशा एग्जांपल देता हूं फातिमा बी. Fatima B is a woman sarpanch. Priyanshi, have you written your hand for a purpose or accident? DLF का सरपंच की है. ये भी सही बात है. Fatima B, she is a very different example. She has been recognized by United Nations itself. She was awarded. She is a sarpanch, and she was awarded by United Nations, none less than United Nations, for the work she has done. And there is a report I taught to my polity student, but you can also know that there is a report by what was the name, scholar's name? Anyone? Do you remember Radha and Shubham? What was the name of the scholar with women's role in Panchayati Raj? मुझे exactly नाम याद नहीं आ रहा scholar का. Anyway, what she has said is important. In her analysis, she has found that whenever you have a woman sarpanch take
Sir, Rohini Pandey.
हाँ, रोहिणी पांडे. Thank you very much. Yes, रोहिणी पांडे. Rohini Pandey in her study has found that whenever there is a woman sarpanch, there is too much work for the woman. They take extra effort to negotiate evils like child marriage. Okay, they work for sanitation. Okay, they work for woman-related issues, and it has been conclusively proven. Example is Fatima B. She has been awarded for the work she has done for the people, especially women-related work, and not less than anyone. United Nations awarded her. So, getting my point? A sarpanch is your choosing. देखिए कोई आर्गुमेंट आता है 3Bs वाला. We are again back to square one. 3Bs argument. Who shall decide? I believe the people should decide. हाँ, सरपंच प्रति एक इशू है, पर हर कोई इशू नहीं. अगेन आई एम नॉट डिनाइंग ऑल द इश्यूज. यस, देयर आर इश्यूज. दे आर करप्ट सरपंच. ठीक है, दे आर पति पंचायत इशू. ठीक है, there is misunderstanding of the women in panchayat, but the crux of the argument that I am presenting is self-governance is still better than anything. The things that you are referring, they are treatable. Over time, things can be treated. This pati sarpanch, over time, this sarpanch pati wala jo logic hai, it will be treated over time, and women will be in commanding powers. They will see people like Fatima B rewarded by United Nations itself. So over time, they will get power. But abhi problem hai, no deniability. But still, self-governance is better than any other form of governance. So clear ho raha hai why we are discussing this? Because of Article 370. Again, self-governance is the key. It prevents revolution. Yaad rakhiyega. It prevents revolution. Because in democracy, what happens? When you have a bad government, you replace the government. Aapke neta, one thing I always say, military can command our respect. It must command our respect. They sacrifice for us. So, an army officer commands our respect, but that person will never command our consent to governance. हमारा गवर्नेंस, हमारी सरकार हमेशा ये भ्रष्ट नेता ही चलाएंगे. ठीक है, we do not want a efficient military man. We will give them respect, give them honor, but we will never give them power to govern us. That power will be by our people, our representative. जिस दिन हमारा मूड खिसकेगा, सरकार खिसका देंगे. Clear everyone the logic of democracy? Of course, democracy always prevents revolutions. इसे समझिए, democracy is like a pressure cooker. When the pressure builds, the CT of election comes and the pressure goes down. That's our problem, no, Radha? That we have elected this rapist and murdered to the parliament. That's our problem. The day we will be like, we take it good. ना 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 ऐसा नहीं है, देखिए इतनी भी, तभी तो मैं कह रहा हूँ अभी पर आई थिंक आई विल स्टार्ट अ चैरिटी फंड फॉर इंटरनेट इन तिहाड़ जेल, ठीक है, एनएसए में, तो फिर मैं आपको वहां से पढ़ाया करूंगा। बट रिमेंबर दिस, बी प्रो पीपल। अपने आप को बचाते रहते, वो तो करना पड़ेगा भाई, आप काम नहीं करोगे तो कैसे होगा। पीपल आई एम नॉट डिनाइंग दैट, काम तो करना ही पड़ता है एनीवे। बट द थिंग इज, हमारे नेता कितने भी भ्रष्ट है, कितने भी कामचोर है, पर वो हमारे चुने हुए, वो सुना है टेढ़ा है पर मेरा है, ठीक है। तो मेरा पर्सनल नेता है, बुरा है पता है मुझे, आई नो दैट अ बैड पर्सन, बट इट्स माय नेता। आई लाइक हिम, आई विल एक्टिव हिम, जिस दिन मेरा दिमाग फिरेगा उठा के फेंक दूंगा, ठीक है। चलो संजीव, विद दैट नोट, यस कुरकुरे, एग्जैक्टली। विद दैट नोट आई एम गोइंग टू द हॉस्पिटल, ठीक है, विद फॉर थ्रोट सर्जरी। Yes, next week. Have a nice day, everyone. Enjoy, maintain life, work balance, everything you like.